Hello, I'm Dr. Tom, and I'd like to welcome you to this Friday's update. For the Global Information Network, what a great sound that has, the feeling of being in a club like gin. It is life-changing. As you know, the world is abuzz right now with global change. The whole coronavirus scenario and situation, which is receiving a tremendous amount of press and a tremendous amount of life interruption, cancellations. Things seem to be happening literally on an hourly basis, whether it's school closing, whether it's sporting events that are stopped, whether it's international travel, whether it's national travel, whether it's not being able to go from one place to another, movements being restricted, all these things that tend to trigger negative emotions and negative feelings in one's mind. And I really want to understand, I want you to understand, my desire for you is to understand that we have the ability to control our reactions to these events. Now, I'm not here to downplay the seriousness. I do think there is some sensationalism going on. The media is like that. However, this is it is a situation where you can be smart. You can take some personal steps. You can choose how you feel about what's going on around you. You can choose to react to things in a way that are enhancing for you, or you can slide into the areas that many people do, which is in the areas of fear. Well, in our training in the Success Mastery course, we're trained to use some discernment. What things make sense? What things make common sense? And what things can you do personally to provide for safety for you and for your family and for your loved ones? And what action steps can you take that will have you in a lesser chance of experiencing some of these symptoms, if you will, from the coronavirus? And really, they're very simple. The known things that are out there are very, very simple. They're wash your hands. And let's go into these things just a little bit deeper if we could. Because it's important. When they say now to wash your hands for 20 to 30 seconds, that's longer than most people traditionally take to wash their hands. So we can either be in a mental capacity, a mindset, if you will, when we're washing our hands, to say, I'm doing this because I'm in fear of the coronavirus. I'm in fear of germs. I'm afraid of touching substances and surfaces. Or we can choose to take a mental capacity, a mental thought process, if you will, that says, I'm thankful and grateful for my perfect immune system. I'm thankful and grateful for my healthy body. You see, it's a way in which you think, because we know that thoughts are things and thoughts impact you. And you see, these are habits that we do that are repeated a number of times a day. So these are a number of times of day, which it can be an indicator for you to do something in a positive mental aspect of your life rather than succumbing to the fear. For years, inside Motor Health System, we actually have these little coins that on one side of the coin, it's a wooden coin, it says fear, and on the other side, it says faith. You see, and we used to do this, we've been operating in this realm for 45 years, 4.5 decades. We know a little bit about how the brain works and how the mind works and how you can do certain things that end up health enhancing rather than disease producing. These were given to our members to simply to distribute with their patients even, that you could actually carry this in your pocket. People used to carry a lot of change in their pocket, which is another event trend change, which we'll talk about. But it's different because now the use of credit cards and debit cards have completely changed the coin and dollar bill, the money exchange. So people used to reach in their pocket a lot more, and you would feel this coin because it was larger than the others, and it would trigger in your brain, am I operating in fear or in faith? It was a reminder, a way in which you could change habits, a way in which you could change your mental aspect with a reminder, of a physical, tactile reminder to trigger for you to make sure that you spend your time in a positive mental state. There are lots of studies out there in the research world about people who think positively and the health enhancements that they get versus those who think negatively, and the closer they get to the disease and premature death aspect of what happens, because the thought process is important. Thoughts are things. So when you do the act of washing your hands, if you simply will think, I'm thankful and grateful, and you can pick something that's appropriate for you. For my immune system, I'm thankful and grateful for my relationships. I'm thankful and grateful for my family. You see, these are codes and phrases and iterations that we use, like mantras that we use during a mortar march, ways in which you can sink things into your brain so that when you now do this activity, it ties to being thankful and grateful for other things in your life. And you begin to wire all of these things together so that consciously and then eventually subconsciously or subcortically, these different scenarios and situations are wired together in your brain in a positive environment. And this is the key. I talked in Cabo about either having an action plan or you have to have a reaction plan. You either act or you react. So use the common sense, ordinary, the steps that are being given to us for what we know now. And this is a dynamic thing that's changing literally by the hour. For now, what we know is it's good to wash your hands, something that's been good a long time, but now we need to do it for a longer period of time, 20 to 30 seconds. Which, if you're counting that off in your head, you can get in a couple of really good phrases a number of times as you are scrubbing thoroughly your hands. The next thing, it says to take more vitamin C. Taking vitamin C is a wonderful idea all the time. Enhancing your immune system. There are studies that say taking high dosage vitamin C. There are those that say take low dosage vitamin C. The point is, take some vitamin C in whichever way that you choose. Our personal philosophy inside Motor Health System has always been to take the vitamin C in a concentration that would be like you would find in an orange or a couple of oranges, because that would be a natural way for you to get vitamin C, as opposed to taking the amount you would get in a bushel of oranges. But those are philosophical things that you can decide. The point is, just take some vitamin C. You know, when we see these panics and these fear scenarios play out, and all the way to the clips you see on TV, if you watch any TV, people fighting over toilet paper in the aisles of the grocery stores, and people begin to hoard things, and people try to capitalize on it by price gouging. You know, that's not our training. That's not what we do. As a matter of fact, what we're doing inside Motor Health System is to take a vitamin C, something that is a known entity to help with building your immune system, and we are actually reducing that price. As a matter of fact, we're going to put it on sale for the greatest discount we've ever offered inside Motor Health System, because that's how you get good information and you get good materials to people. See, clear back, as far back as 1975, there was a Senate subcommittee report that said 7 out of the 10 leading causes of disease, of chronic degenerative disease in this country, are diet related. If you'll begin to take good nutritional supplements, if you'll eat good, whole, natural, organically grown foods, you build your own immune system and you become less susceptible to these outside forces, whether they're viruses, germs, bacteria, whatever they are, your body can fight them off. And so think the way you do in Gen. In your Success Mastery course training, it's use discernment. It's do the right thing. It's use the golden rule. These are all things that we teach, and these are things that we do. It will give you the opportunity to feel good about everything that happens in your life. Make an action step. Begin to take a good supplement. Eat good foods. It's really that simple. Get more rest. Rest is always good. Particularly, we've just had a time zone change. That throws a lot of people off in their sleeping pattern. Take the time. Establish a pattern just before you go to sleep. Sleep is so important, and we're going to give you more information on this topic. Sleep is so important because that's when your body rests and rebuilds. So get some good sleep. Get in a dark environment. That's how you actually begin to build your recovery centers, if you will. Reduce the stress in your life. By reducing the stress in your life, it makes it easier for your body to heal because it's not fighting the tigers all night long when you wake up in the middle of the night. You're not resting when you do that, when you wake up every couple of hours. So there are some simple, common sense things that you can do which will make you less susceptible to what's happening this is the information we've been given. Who knows how much of the facts we're being given at this point, at this time. All we can do is have a plan with what we know. And what we know is that it's smart to wash your hands, to eat good foods, build your immune system, to get good rest, and to reduce the stress in your life. Whether you're reducing that stress by doing meditations, by doing mindfulness, by doing mortar marches, by doing yoga, by taking a walk in the woods. If your travel is restricted and you can't go different places, go out in the woods. Spend a little time reconnecting with the force and the source and nature. Take your shoes off and walk barefoot. Re-energize yourself. This is what we teach in this club. Talk to people who are positive about things, not the naysayers and the negative. They have plenty of information to work on right now. In the world of gin, I will tell you that we have a number of announcements that I wanted to cover today. You know, we talk about events and trends, and we talk about things that happen one time being an event, and then when they happen multiple times and it changes the course of things, those become trends. And what we're seeing as a result, you know, this all ties back to what's going on right now, in that just as 9/11, when a number of airplanes flew into buildings, it changed the world of travel, air travel, forever. I mean, it is completely different to how you go through security, to how you stand, to how you do everything. And it became a trend. I think this is a trend building as well. I mean, people will forever view infectious diseases differently than they have in the past. I will tell you that in order to develop a new habit or a new trend for yourself personally, there is some disagreement about how long it takes to accomplish that. Well, here's the matter of fact about it. Some say it takes 30 days. If you do something every day for 30 days, then you'll be able to do it because now it's a new habit for you. Some say it takes 60 days. Some say it takes 90 days. Well, here's the point. If you're going to do it every day for 30 days, then when you get to the 60-day mark, you've been doing it every day because you established a habit at 30 days that made it get to 60. And if you do it for 90 days, you did it for the whole 90 days regardless. The point is, develop a new habit. Just change something in your life in an action step that moves you in a direction toward health. That's the goal. You know, people say, well, there's a restriction on travel. I'm working from home. Perfect. If you're working from home, you see, there's never been a better time for you to seize the opportunity. If you're working from home, that means maybe you save 30 minutes in travel time or transit time. Maybe you save 2 hours. Maybe it's 2 hours to and from work and you save 4 hours. Spend those hours studying the Success Mastery course. Spend those 4 hours putting something positive into your brain. Read a good book on the suggested reading list. Listen to the materials. Go to the member development series. Get caught up on those. We release a new one every single week. Lee Kinney is releasing one this Sunday. So you see, there are ways in which anything that people say is controversial or bad or they feel restricted, just look at it differently. It's your choice. Simply say, I'm going to take that extra time and use it in personal development. I'm going to be a better person. We don't know if this is a 30-day challenge that we're facing. We don't know if it's 60 days. There have been viruses around a long time, and historically, they play out over a period of time. Each of them are a little bit different. No one knows the outcome of this one at this point. What we do know is that you can act and react in a way of your choice. Use it to your benefit. I will tell you that even as they're closing schools, closing colleges and universities, well, what they're learning is they're saying, now you're going to study online. Well, guess what? It works. The Global Information Network has been studying online for 11 years. You have progressed from level 1 to level 7 through online study. It's a wonderful evolution. Congrats, you were ahead of the curve. You see, it's all the way in which we see these things. I will tell you that we are going to have a call. Our March Gladness worldwide membership call is going to be this Sunday. It will be at 1 o'clock Central Time. Again, you can look on the website. You should have received an email about this or two telling you about this. We're going to be making some announcements. Blaine, Lee Kinney, and myself, we're all on there giving you some updates. We're going to give you some information that is released for the first time on there. I would encourage and suggest and recommend that you get on that call. Invite a guest to be on the call. See what it is that we're about. See what we accomplish inside the world of gin. I will tell you that Dave and Marlon Boyven are going to start next Monday a book club, a book review club. You can go on the website. Remember, we're driving things to the website. As I've been telling you over the last few weeks, go to the event section, the event tab. You can register for this. They're going through, this one is The Science of Getting Rich, this book. They're going to do the introduction, the first couple of chapters of that. It is an incredible, incredible study time. I will tell you, if you've had the honor and pleasure to meet them at events, if you personally know them, they are super people. These are the kind of people that make Gen the club that it is. So I would encourage you to register for that. There will be a limited number of spots on that. It's first come, first serve. They're spectacular people, and you will be better off having studied with them. I'm telling you, we're releasing the Terrific Tuesdays from Tom Ward each Tuesday. Again, you can go on the website, learn more about this. You will have access to short snippets of information about that tie in perfectly with the Success Mastery course, because everything that we're bringing to you in Gen ties back to that core principle and the ways in which we learn as a club. I will tell you, I mentioned the Member Development Series with Lee Kinney this week. Spectacular information. I wanted to mention a shout out to Heather Perdue and Sekou Cook and other Club 712 members, which we will begin to work into this messaging as well, for their volunteering to start things. The Member for Member mentoring program will help new members getting started in Gen to fast track their study and for them to be able to lock it in, to better understand all that's available, because there is so much information. It's literally millions of dollars worth of information are available for you online to study. Where do you start? Well, they will help to guide you. What are your interests? What are your desires? Why did you join Gen? What's your why? All of those can steer you in a little bit slightly different direction so that you get what you're looking for as you join this club, so that you can then begin to add that to your base foundation to spring forward for as you begin to do the upgrades, which we're seeing record numbers of people upgrading through the levels. Some are doing one level at a time, which there is a discount on that through our July event, and they're doing multiple levels. Most people are actually doing multiple levels, and there are payment plans available for you to be able to do that, where you can upgrade for multiple levels. You only get the information one level at a time until you progress through the Success Mastery course, because that's the way it's designed. The level 6 information won't mean as much to you had you not had the previous 5 levels and had you not shown some proficiency in those levels. So there's, the point of this week is, first of all, I want to tell you that I have received a number of emails and calls and texts about people who actually followed through with my ask of last week when I asked, when was the last time you did something for the first time? And people sent me some things that they were doing as a result of that. You see, it triggered an action step in them, which is always our goal in the Global Information Network, to trigger you to action so that you can be, do, and have all that you desire. I'm Dr. Tom. I hope you have a spectacular week. I'll talk to you next week.